Welcome to the Ultimaker Cura 3.4 update. This video includes the most important features and changes of this release. The full release notes can be found on ultimaker.com and in Cura under Extensions, Changelog, Show Changelog. We improved the user experience, performed minor tweaks, we have updates to the plugin section, implemented engine features, and material compatibility updates. The new UFP save format contains an icon which can be shown by Cura Connect and the Ultimaker S5 display. This icon is generated in Cura and contains all models that are printed. This update excludes modifier meshes to keep Cura Connect and the Ultimaker S5 display clean and straightforward. When Cura is started for the first time, a pop-up appears, asking for the anonymous data preferences. Click More Info to load the Preferences panel. It now contains a button showing exactly the information we send to our servers when anonymous data sharing is enabled. The same information can also be found in the Preferences panel. The settings filter above the list of settings in Cura reacts faster by updating it less frequently. Every 500 milliseconds or on hitting the Enter key. That means if you type slowly, Cura waits for the user to finish before processing it. Saving files with dots in the file name now keep all data behind the dot as expected. This is especially useful when working with version numbered file names. In addition, files without a file name will now be saved as unnamed. Cura improved the way configuration errors are handled by detecting and showing potential configuration file errors to users, like incorrect material or quality profiles. Information is stored and communicated to the user to prevent the same crashes in the future. The Reset button allows to easily reset the user configuration folder and start from scratch. Now for the minor tweaks, we have added a preference option which selects the loaded models upon loading. In addition, the Pause and Hide plugin had a minor fix, which takes rafts into account and immediately travels to the next XY coordinate. We also added two new third-party printers, the Rigid 3D Musit and Felix Tech 4. The plugin browser has been redesigned into the toolbox, complete with graphical elements to give more information about available plugins. The top left button shows the available plugins, while the top right button shows the already installed ones. Click a plugin for more details like the version number, last update, author, and a brief description. The availability of plugins keeps growing, and with the release, we have quite a few interesting new plugins available. The Backup and Restore plugin allows to back up the Cura configuration folder and restore it on any computer. Once installed, you need to create an account or log in with your Ultimaker forum account. Accept Cura Drive Backup to make changes and you are good to go. We can back up our data now, enable automatic backups, and restore backups which are indicated with a date and version number. This plugin works cross-platform on Windows, Mac, and Linux. The Printer Setting plugin. This plugin allows you, when in custom mode, to include your printer settings in a new sidebar category, instead of in the Machine Manager. Make sure to enable the printer settings visibility in the Preferences panel to view them. Last but not least, there's the Compact Prepare Sidebar plugin. This plugin will organize the sidebar in a compact way, making more settings visible at once. This plugin is especially useful for customers that fine-tune a lot of slicing settings. Furthermore, the following plugins have been updated: Octoprint, Make Printable Tool, FreeCAD, Blender, and OpenSCAD integration. So check them out in the toolbox. Let's continue with the engine improvements. Connected infill overlap overlapped too much with the inner wall. This could result in infill showing through the shell, which has now been corrected. Increased G-code efficiency. The engine sometimes puts travel moves with unnecessary jerk and acceleration in the G-code. We now catch these and remove the jerk and acceleration G-code, resulting in more efficient G-code, as seen in this example. Improved combing paths. As seen in these examples, some combing paths were unlogical and longer than necessary. This improvement reduces the print time for combed travels. The initial layer printing order has been changed to print the brim, then the outer wall, and then the inner wall by default. This increases adhesion to the build plate. Infill support. This feature only prints infill where the top layers above them need support. The angle can be set as the infill overhang angle. Let's load the layer view of this model and disable the visible shell. As you can see, the infill behaves as normal. When we go into the custom mode and search for infill support, we can enable it. Here you can see the result with infill support enabled. We have added 3 new support-related features to fine-tune the way it's printed. Limit support retractions. We added the setting to enable or disable retractions while printing supports. This setting can be found in the material category because it's part of the retraction settings. Avoid travel supports. This new engine feature allows to avoid support structures while traveling, instead of moving the nozzle right over. This reduces the chance of support knocking over, but increases stringing and print time. Support wall line count. This setting adds the number of walls around the support structures. It increases the strength of the support structures, but it costs more time to print. Let's move on to the minor engine improvements. Outer perimeter is printed first. When you set the print order to outer wall, inner wall, and then the infill, the outermost walls of the models will always be printed first before any holes. This is to increase dimensional accuracy of the model. As you can also see in the simulation, the brim now truly prints on the outside only. Any islands on the bottom initial layer will be ignored. The circular concentric prime tower now prints all lines in the same counterclockwise direction. This increases the strength and reliability even further. Additionally, we improved chained wall efficiency to reduce the number of travels and retractions, the wall overlap compensation to improve wall quality overall, and the inner and outer wall travels to prevent artifacts in walls. Material compatibility. 2 material, printer, and print core combinations which we do not support now show the correct compatibility in Cura. It is the Ultimaker 2 Plus with polypropylene and a 0.25mm nozzle, and the Ultimaker S5 or Ultimaker 3 printing breakaway material with a AA 0.8 core. All information on material compatibility can be found on their website through the Check Compatibility link right here in Cura. That concludes the Cura 3.4 update. Thanks for watching.